What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? It's Sean here with SNS Serpentarium. So today I'm chilling with my Dumbrels boa and we're going to talk about should you get a Burmese python. Stick around till the end of the video, guys. It's really important if you're thinking about getting a Burm to hear all of the stuff I have to say about them. I'm just chilling with this girl and she's been a bit, well, he even is being a bit naughty. Yeah, so stick around till the end, as I said. Hear everything that I've got to say and then you can make up your own mind if it's the right pet for you. So, just before we get started though, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe and smash that notification bell. Daily snake videos and you don't want to be missing out on any of that. If you need to know any more information about the Burmese python, just go look on case sheets and stuff like that. I'd recommend you do that anyway. If you want to ask me anything about the Burm or about this Dumbrels, anything you want, just drop it in the comments and I will get back to you. I promise you with that. Without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So Burmese pythons are, as you know, one of the largest species of snake on the planet. They often exceed 14 or 15 foot. They can get upwards of 200 pounds in weight or 100 kilos. They're really giant snakes. They grow very, very quickly. They're gorgeous animals, but you obviously know that if you're thinking about getting one. Yeah, there's lots of morphs available about. There's granites, there's hypos, albinos, pearls, blue-eyed lucies. That's all I can name off the top of my head. There may be a few more that I'm not aware of. I think there might be a pied. Don't quote me on that though. But yeah, they're gorgeous snakes anyway, even the normal. Bear in mind, guys, obviously because of the big size they get and they grow very quickly, they're going to need a big enclosure, at least a 6x2x2, and that is the bare minimum. I'd recommend something even bigger than that. Especially for a big female. A small male, 6x2 is okay, but if you can go bigger, then go bigger. I'm just trying to get control of this this boy here. He's being a bit daft. This snake is only 6 foot, and you can see how much of a handful he can be. I'm not a big man, granted, but he is quite a handful. So you can imagine what handling a 200-pound snake is going to be like. Obviously, these Dumbrels have got a lot more muscle to mass ratio compared to Burms. Burms tend to be a little bit chubbier, a little bit lazier. They do make great pets if you know what you're doing and you've got the spare room to keep an enclosure that large and the spare time to look after it properly. They do make good pets. But they are a handful when you're handling them. They are very, very heavy and they're not to be taken lightly. These animals are potentially dangerous. If you smell like a rat or a rodent and they go for you and you're on your own, then you could be asking for problems. It is quite rare that people die because of a snake, but it can happen. Just don't let that be you. Do everything properly, do everything by the book and you'll be fine. There's always a risk though, okay, so just keep that in mind. Any snake over 10 foot is not recommended you handle it on your own, because at that point it is powerful enough to actually overpower you and give you problems. Burms tend to be very docile in temperament. That's worth noting. They don't tend to be viv defensive or grumpy, especially if you work with them from a young age. They're quite lazy for a giant snake, so they don't need as big of an enclosure as a retic, which is obviously a longer and more active snake. They eat semi sort of regularly when they're young, but as they grow on, then I'd feed them a bigger prey item less often then, to just avoid it getting fat. You don't want to overdo the prey items because they will get fat and then they'll be dead in a short order. I'd never recommend power feeding them. You can get a Burm to 10 foot in a year if you power feed it. when really, if you ask me, it shouldn't be 10 foot until it's like 4 or 5 at least, especially if it's a male. Around 5 or 6 feet is about right for a 1.5 year old specimen, perhaps even smaller than that really. Again, if you pump the food into them, they'll grow really quickly, but they'll die earlier, and that's not what you want. If you want a big snake straight away, please go to a rescue and rescue one rather than power feeding a baby. There's plenty available in reputable rescues. All across the country, you can pick up a Burm from a rescue, and then you'll be doing the rescue a favour, and you'll be doing, you know, good for the hobby then, and sort of getting away from the bad reputation that, you know, snake keepers have by saving one. If you get one from a rescue as well, guys, you'll know what the adult temperament is going to be like, because it's already an adult probably, and you've already got that big snake they wanted, so there's no need to power feed a little one. These snakes are not for everyone, guys. It's really worth knowing that, due to their massive size. Okay, everyone wants a big snake, but there are other options, and once you do have a big snake, you realize how overrated it actually is. These Dummerels, they're not the biggest snakes on the planet, obviously, but they're big enough for me. They're big enough to where they're something substantial, but they're not so big that they're difficult then, if that makes sense. So if you're really married to the idea of getting a Burm and you don't have the means to keep a giant snake, maybe look into getting a pure dwarf Burmese. These snakes max out at around 8 foot, and that is the max for a female. I've done a whole separate video on them, so make sure you check that out. They're great really, as long as you know, make sure you get one from a reputable breeder that isn't lying to you or selling to you a half dwarf or anything like that, because then you don't really know how big it's gonna get. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you made it this far, you obviously like the video, so make sure you like the video. Comment down below if you've got a Burmese, or if you're getting a Burmese. I'd love to hear from you all. We've got a really friendly community here, really chatty comment section. I always reply to comments down below, and I will be for the foreseeable once you know, the channel grows. And there's too many comments to reply to everyone, then I won't reply to everyone. I'll just be replying in the first hour or so, but we're not there yet. So every comment gets a reply, and that's the shown promise. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this girl here. If you made it this far, make sure you are subscribed and that you like the video, and you've smashed that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Daily videos, as I've said countless times. Make sure I see you in the next video, guys, and thank you for watching, and I'll leave you to it. Bye.